Welcome to the video, guys. So today I'm just going to be showing how to clean or even replace the lens inside of the laser tube here, or the laser nozzle I should say. So to do that you're just going to need some rubbing alcohol, also some Allen keys, clean cloth or rag, and some earbuds or cotton tips. Basically going to give that a bit of a clean, and also just give these mirrors a bit of a clean as well. So there's one there and one back there. And also the one that's in here as well. So pretty straightforward process really. The reason I'm doing mine today is I've had a bit of moisture coming out of the nozzle. I think my water trap has been a bit full, so just going to go through and basically give these a bit of a clean, but thought it'd be good to do the video, and that way I can just sort of show how to do that. So yeah, again, pretty easy process. So you're just going to undo this screw here with an Allen key. You can see that whole thing drops down there. So I'm just going to pop that out, and I'll disconnect the air line, so you just push that in and that tube just pulls straight out. And then also the little red dot sight thing, you just unscrew that and that just pops out as well. So this is basically what you have. So looking down the tube there, you can see the lens. It's like a yellowy sort of colour. So this bottom part here just basically unscrews off. Now there is a special tool required to unscrew the ring that's inside here. I don't have this special tool. I basically got two tent pegs and just ground down the edges of those. So that's what I use to unscrew this O-ring, but I'll show you here. So if you can see it there, so you can see the moisture on my lens there, but you can see those two circles there. That's actually the removal tool. So I have my specialty tent pegs here that I've made, and I just basically pop those in and use those to unscrew. Now, obviously they don't work as good as a tool, but it does the job. So works for me, so that's what I do. But yeah, it's just a matter of unscrewing that. I know that some of these do have a rubber O-ring underneath here as well to stop any vibrating. Mine doesn't have one, and I do know that because I have replaced this lens. Actually, when I ran the machine and it was all out of alignment, I ended up cracking the lens or burning the lens out, so I had to get this one to replace that. So this is actually a new lens. I've had it for probably 2 months or so now, so but I'll just show you here a bit of a close-up of this lens. So you can see the moisture that's on here, which is what's coming through my machine. So I've got to clean out my water trap and probably my actual air compressor as well, because I think that's the problem. But it's definitely affecting my cuts at the moment. So I just wanted to take that out and give that a bit of a wipe off. So just wipe that with the cloth. Obviously some rubbing alcohol on there. You can put it onto a cotton tip, or you could just put it straight onto the rag and give it a wipe. I use the cotton tips obviously for doing for the mirrors. So the mirrors you can take out when you clean them, but I just leave mine in there. I only take them out if I was going to replace them, which I haven't had to replace any mirrors yet, so that's good. So yeah, it's a pretty easy process, like I said. So just some rubbing alcohol on there. This stuff evaporates pretty quickly, so it's the best stuff to use for it. So just a bit of a wipe, looks pretty good. So yeah, nice and clean. As I said, this is a fairly new lens. It's only, it'd only be a couple of months old, I think. So definitely no problems with that. So obviously putting it back together is just a reversal of that same procedure that I did taking it apart. Now there is a concave on top here. You can see it's sort of rounded on the top, and you need to make sure that that is facing up into the tube. So when you drop it into the tube, that the curved side of the lens is facing the top. Once you have that done, it's just a matter of screwing back in that O-ring and tightening that back down. This one's a bit of mucking around here. Seat that in properly. And once it's in, it just screws back down. So again, as I said before, some of them do have a rubber ring in there as well to stop any kind of vibration. This one doesn't have one. I haven't bothered to put one in. I don't really think it needs one, to be honest, but it is an option. And so yeah, that's pretty much the lens being reinstalled, and now just go back through and put it back together. So it's just screwing on the cone piece again, and then just basically reconnecting that air line, putting that red dot thing back in, and then replacing it back into the laser head. And again, this doesn't have to be super tight. There's not really any vibration in the machine, so it's not too bad. You don't need to over tighten anything. That just pops straight back in. So that's pretty much the removal and installation of the laser lens. And as I said, it's a pretty basic procedure there. So once that's done, I'm going to go through now and just give those mirrors a bit of a clean. So same deal, just a bit of rubbing alcohol on the end of the cotton tip. And just rub it over the mirror, basically. The mirrors tend to get, I guess, a bit dirty from the smoke and things like that, but you know, they're not too bad. I think it's recommended to do this weekly. I definitely don't do it weekly, even though I do use the machine weekly. So yeah, I just keep an eye on it, and when I feel that it needs to be done, I'll quickly do that. So I just rub it on one end and then flip it over and dry it off with the other end. Same for this one on the laser head. I'll show you here. So I just go in there with the cotton tip. And you can see the lens just back there. And just get in there and give that a bit of a wipe as well. You can see on the back here, so you can unscrew it. You can see where I've actually tried to unscrew it, but my tent pegs didn't really do a good enough job, and it started slipping. So that's why I've just decided to clean this one on the inside. But if you had the remover tool, you could definitely unscrew that ring on the outside there and remove the mirror and give it a clean and pop it back in. But this for me is enough. So yeah, I'll go back through now and just clean that back one up, and then we'll pop back, and I'm going to show you how I lubricate the rails. So I'll take you through and show you that as well. Mirror's all nice and clean. Good to go. Okay, so I just use some WD-40 lithium white grease. Basically just give those linear rails a bit of a wipe off. I move the gantry forward and just make sure I give that a good wipe just to clean off all the old stuff. And just a matter of spraying some on. Now you can brush this on, you can spray it directly on there, I guess. I guess how you put it on doesn't really matter as long as you get it on there. But for me, I just spray it onto a rag and then give it a wipe and move that gantry forward and backwards just to get it going. But yeah, it is quite an easy process, so nothing really hard about it. And so the gantry here is just done the same way as well. I'll do the same thing, wipe all the old stuff off, put some new stuff on, and just move that laser head left and right just to make sure that it picks up all the grease and gets it going good. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much it from me. Thanks for checking out the video. I do appreciate it. Definitely give it a like and consider subscribing, and thanks again.